What's going on, traders? How we doing on out there? How you guys dealing with this? What do you guys think? 4-day rally? Is this just too good to be true? Or is the bottom in? You're hearing everybody talk about it. Everybody's playing hero out there. Is the bottom in? You guys let me know in the chat. What do you guys think?
All right, it is time for pre-market prep at the close.
Three consecutive highs, opened, matched yesterday's low, and then once it took out there, that's all the breakout momentum traders needed.
What's going on, traders? How we doing on out there? I wonder how you guys are doing in this market. If you guys are doing good or bad, let me know in the chat. I want to hear what you guys are going through. I'm going to go ahead and drop here in the SPY. Take a look here. Don't have Joel. We'll give you guys the heads up. No Joel today. So going to keep on battling here like always. But hey, that's how it goes. Can't really worry about that now. Going to keep going. We'll take a look at what stocks we're moving today. If you guys got something you guys want to call on out, definitely throw it up in the chat. I'm going to take a look at see what I see moving on out there like always. But hit the like and let's go ahead. Let's get started here. Let's see what we get in the overall market today. Do we get a nice close up here towards the 389? All of a sudden, do we start dropping back down there towards the VWAP? We've been talking about here on the daily. I've been looking at this, and I talked about when we were right here in the 391s that we had room to 400. It looks very similar to the move that we got here when we got a little peak above, came back down, then pushed up. So I know a lot of people are trying to call the bottom. Is this the bottom? I really don't think so. Just based on the facts, what is on out there. We still haven't really turned around also on the RSI from that bounce that we had down there at 23.96. I think we need to at least test down there one more time to really start seeing kind of a trend change. And I mean, what's to say that the Fed isn't just increasing rates, still looking at that upside look? You hear comments out there that at the end of the day, the Fed is just worried about inflation. They're not worried about if they're going to knock this market down any further down. And I think that they need to go ahead and really work on those benchmark rates to get them up there. Because if not, it's just going to be a tough environment if we do go into a recession during this time. So, and what's to say? I mean, there's still some geopolitical issues out there, right? There's still some worrying out there. I mean, I know that no one's talked about it recently, but I'm still worried about what can happen with China and Taiwan. It's definitely on my radar because if you think about what could potentially really knock us down another level, it could be more kind of unrest in the global environment. So we'll see what happens. Is it time to take profits? To each his own. You know, you could continue seeing a lift there into the 390s and then getting on up there towards the 400. So it still has a little bit of room to run, I feel. But we'll see what happens today. Definitely on top of it with technology. I got to say, Dennis has been on top of the technology move. Today, solar really pushing. Stocks like ENPH, JKS, 13% day there, guys. So don't miss that. Big push there. So can't go wrong in Jenkins Solar today. Really pushed on up. And I guess all solar names. I mean, take a look at that, right? All of them up today. It's important to kind of note when you see relative strength. You're definitely seeing that relative strength in these solar names. We'll see if it can continue running. ENPH getting back up there toward the 206. This one was an interesting chart in the intraday. Look at this little chart here. You were going sideways. Then you got that pop towards to 210, and then it came right back down. So these charts are a little bit harder to kind of go. I haven't been seeing these patterns really hold. They go up for a little bit, kind of hold for a little bit, but then come and break down on the downside too. But we'll see what happens. Semiconductors doing really well today. We were talking about that. I tried to mention this morning about Samsung and how that could potentially affect the other semiconductors out there. Really, this was on the 11% jump in profit, 21% surge in revenue, and kind of easing the worries that were put out by Micron, right? So Micron had put out those negative news, and then Samsung coming in here, boosting up the semiconductors. Definitely had a good day. If you take a look at some of these you'll see TSM up 7%, NVIDIA up 5%, AVGO up 3.5. So definitely a good day. Did catch this nice little pattern there in NVIDIA, looking for a nice little rise. It was looking nice. At least this pattern held here in the semi. So definitely getting that lift. One area that I think, got to give myself a little pat on the back because I feel like I was on top of it, was I felt that energy was just oversold. And I felt like, too many people were looking towards the downside on oil, and there you have it. It bounces back right there. And it was a strong bounce back in a lot of these. You can see we actually gapped on up also, and we also brought oil back above the 100 a barrel after sliding, of course, with the commodities. XOM hanging sideways here. Chevron hanging sideways. Oxy up about 4.25%. So this one definitely got off the bottom there, off the 60. Now I'll see if we can hold 60 on Oxy and start making our way to 70. We'll see what happens there. I know Warren Buffett's probably happy seeing that Oxy right back up. All right, what's going on out there, guys? What are you guys taking a look at? Another China name, DQ. Yeah, that's not a bad one. Kristen Fromhertz gave you that one at 52. Hey, there you go, my man Fromhertz. He's a beast, guys. I watch his recaps almost every single day just to give you guys a little insight out there. There's very few traders out there that I feel I follow on a daily basis and would listen to everything they kind of have to say. One of those is Christian Fromhertz. I'll let you know that right off the back for sure. All right, let's go ahead. Let's keep going. Let's take a look at what moved on out there. If you guys got stocks to check on out, throw them up in the chat. I don't have Joel today, so a little bit more. I can go off of different tangents and things like that. But I don't know if you guys caught. There was kind of a report put out there. It was a PDF with Bullard today. If you guys didn't check this out, I'm going to give you guys the link right here. If you guys want to check this out, I would definitely check that out so you guys can look at Bullard's comments. And he brought a lot. At the end of the day, he talks a lot about the first steps to disinflation. So he's talking about also here how the forward guidance on the dimensions is helping the Fed move policy more quickly to the degree necessary to keep inflation under control. And so the forward guidance there of talking about continuing the hike is helping, but this does point out more and more of the risk of the Fed's credibility and respect to its inflation target. We always hear that target, 2%, 2%. But really, will they fight to get inflation not to start showing a downtrend, but fight it towards that 2% is so important? Because if they don't and they go dovish on us and they just say, well, we're kind of starting to see inflation peak, so at least it looks like, we're gonna slow things down a little bit to see what happens here. That's what I don't want to see, because that's just going to talk about more and more how the Fed's credibility is in question, right? So we'll see if the Fed continues the hike rates that they talked about. Will they get to their benchmark rate? That's very important to keep watch. If they keep raising those interest rates, I don't know how we don't end up going into a recession, but we'll see what happens, guys. All right, we'll see. Definitely check out that article. I just posted it there for you guys. It's a PDF if you guys want to check it out. All right, let's go ahead. Let's go towards taking a look at some other stocks in some different areas. We could take a look at some technology and energy. That was up today, but consumer cyclicals also getting a little bit of a lift here. Really, auto manufacturing is leading here. You got auto parts and luxury goods doing well also, but Tesla, nice day there for Tesla. I'll show you guys it right here. I was looking at Tesla, and I talked about this on live trading when we were here in the 676 area, and I was looking for a push above 700 because I knew that could get it back there towards the resistance. You can see it's pushing. It still has, I think, a little bit of room to run here into the 740s. A close above 750s could get us out of this range where we're not into a bearish trend. We're still in a bearish trend here, even though we've had really pretty much like 2 really strong days in Tesla. It needs to close above 750 for us to really start seeing that trend get turned around. All right, we'll go ahead and check out some stocks that you guys mentioned along the way, and we'll definitely keep looking at what's going on out there. Let's go to GME here. GME, I did want to take a look at it, of course, after the 4-for-1 stock split. This is coming due to a dividend of 3 additional shares for each company Class A common stock. This is going to actually come in to who owns the stock on the close of July 18th. So keep that one on the radar, mark it on the calendar. GME 4-for-1 stock split, because it could run into that move. You could see even a decline and then eventually a run. But today we did recover that 130. You guys can see here, we got up there towards that 130 early on, gave a couple wicks, started seeing like it was going to drop, and then boom, it's right back up there through the 130s, getting up there towards the 135s today. It wasn't only GME. AMC made a nice rocket move. So the apes were definitely out there today. It was booming today. I've been talking about how AMC kind of rejected getting up there towards 15. 15 is going to be so vital for it. If it can make another leg up there, get through the 15, and really take out these highs over here. If it could take out 1576, this is really going to start looking back like it wants to start squeezing a little bit more and more. Just keep it on your radar. We'll see what happens there on AMC. It's not really one of my favorites right now, but I'm definitely going to also keep my eye on it. Beans and rice. Looks like, yes, Mara did catch a little bit of a bounce there. Was it a Bitcoin rally that made this come up, or was it just completely oversold? A little part of me thinks more oversold conditions that brought this back, because I don't think anyone's trying to look at miners as being the best place to be right now. But yes, you did get a strong day there from Mara. You get a strong day there from Hut, BTBT, Riot. You know, they all bounced. They all had a strong day. The question is, will they continue to run, though? I personally wouldn't bet on that, at least on miners. It just doesn't seem like this is the time. I think when you have that next Bitcoin wave, yeah. And of course, if you're getting a wave in Bitcoin, could it be a dead cat rally? I think you're definitely in a long winter there in Bitcoin. I don't think it's coming back anytime soon. All right, let's go ahead. We'll take a look. Yeah, the miners have been hammered. I mean, who wants to even mine Bitcoin? You guys in the chat, let me know. Who's mining some coin right now? I've been hearing that kind of slowly die out, at least miners. All right, let's go ahead. We'll go towards triple BY here, getting a lift there off those insider buys. We talked about it this morning, and boy, did this just rocket out the gates. And I got to give it to whoever's mentioned about the short interest. I think that definitely helped it rip up there about 20%. It was a big lift there in triple BY. Triple D pointing out the triple B. I thought that was pretty funny earlier. But we'll see if this can continue. It's definitely pulled back from that breakout. It was trying to get to 6, couldn't hold it there. And of course, I'm not too big of a fan on this stock right now. But can we get into the shadow and hold up there? Looks like we're pulling back to the shadow right now. We did get into that shadow. We didn't close it, though. Keep it on your radar. It could eventually close it up there towards, let's say, 634 or 653. So keep triple BY on your radar. Going to cost more to power the units than you can mine. Should be some cheap cards, though. Yeah, that's the problem there. It's going to cost more of the power than what you're making. That doesn't really make sense, right? I think the next 8 to 12 months is an accumulation phase of good quality miners. It's not a bad approach, Bean. I don't think you're wrong, but you know, just save some rice for me and let me know when you start seeing these get out of the accumulation phase and into back to the breakout phase. But like always, long-term investors can't blame you for going after it. Never is I think an investment necessarily dumb unless you're not doing what? Risk management. All right, let's go ahead. Let's keep going. Let's get into some other trades. The halving is 2024. Yeah, I still think you know, you still see downside in Bitcoin. I'm really sticking to that 9 to 10,000 area. If we do get down to like maybe 11, I'll start dipping my toes, but I'm not touching it unless it gets to that level. I've been buying beans. Yeah, we're gonna have to live off of them beans and rice for a little while. We're gonna have to stop eating so much chicken if this inflation doesn't go away. But we'll see what's going on out there. Let's keep going to some other stocks. Look at Wayfair. Nice day on Wayfair. 10% day on this stock, getting a nice lift there. I wanted to take a look at stocks like Walmart and discount stores. There you go. Did we finally get a close above 25.50? Let me take a look here. No, it rejected the 25.50 again there on Walmart. I've been waiting for this one, guys. We'll see if this can finally get into the 25.50s. Look how you've been getting so many wicks up there. Yesterday, you got up there, and right at the close, it clicks down right below that 125.50. It's going to be important to watch. I watched it last time here. We'll see if it actually kind of closes up there. Target had a good one, though, off the bounce there. DG, I talked about it. Dollar Tree, I talked about earlier in the week how this one could be a nice breakout. It's already gone up about 8% there. Not looking too bad in Dollar Tree. BJ was also on my radar for a move above 65. Look at that. That was from Tuesday on. We're already up there about 4%. Doesn't look too bad in some of these discount stores. Ollie continuing to rip. BIG getting a little bit of a lift there. The big lots, we'll see what happens on these. These are discount stores. Farm products didn't have a bad day today. ADM, Tyson Food trying to come back. Keep these on your radar. We'll see if these can kind of get a lift. Healthcare continuing in the lift there with biotechs. Been talking about how strong this area is. Look at Gilead starting to take a little step up. VRTX. But Moderna, guys, we were looking at this before the 146 breakout. Now it's up there to 170. That's a nice 18% push. So not a bad one to keep on watch there with the biotechs. Moderna really taking off. BNTX, another one continuing the push. This one has been pushing since pretty much last week here. But you can see from Tuesday, when we were looking at this one, it was pushing up about 11%. Not a bad day for BNTX and continuing that lift. All right, I also saw some medical care stocks going up, but they aren't the biggest ones on my radar. I did see basic materials catch a little bit of a bounce here, guys. So coal catching a little bit of a bounce. Wouldn't you know it? The old BTU. Was looking for it to get through the $20 today. It got through the 20, bounced off of it multiple times, then got back up there towards the 2090s. Not a bad trade there in coal. But copper, we've been talking about how it's been oversold, really been hit hard. FCX getting a little bit of a lift today, 6% up. Steel, I talked about it today when we talked about Cleveland Cliff, that it was oversold. Could see a nice little lift in these names. And let's take a look there. NUE getting a little lift after, a little push, pull back, and then taking off there towards the 112. We'll see how it ends the day, but not a bad lift there for some of the steel names. And definitely seeing basic materials come back today. X gonna give it to you. He gonna give it to you. All right, X there getting up there towards the $18 there. We'll see if we can finally start getting some rebound in steel to actually hold. I think this was one of those that was just kind of oversold, bounce. We need to see day 2, day 3, see that boost really come back. But it's kind of interesting that on a day where, the market is coming up is the day where energy is going up. And when we were coming down is when energy was coming down. So I just want to state that. I want to keep watch to see what happens there. But when I've seen the market take the hardest hits, it's when that energy trade comes off. Out of principle, I will never buy Moderna. Hey, I can't blame you on that, Joy. I do have some stocks like that out of principle that I try not to touch, but it's always what you like to do. TJ Maxx got my list. Hey, can't blame you there. Burger. What are you looking at, Burger? Burger. What are you looking at? Shake? Where's the Shake Shack? Man, you guys remember when this was ripping in the pandemic? This got to over 130s, now down at $40. It has some bottoming there in the 40, 47. We'll see if this can get back up there. I covered a burger stock there for you. I don't know what the burger song was about, but hey, can't blame you on that one. All right, Mara, next week, 7 up 400%. Yeah, it could continue bouncing. There's nothing wrong with that. MP had a great day. MP likes to bounce off the $29 range. Okay, let's take a look here. MP Materials. Yes, it likes to bounce off that 30 range. You can go back and look at it. I have way too many kind of chart patterns on this one. I still remember, though, you guys that hate on the SPACs attack. This is still a SPAC. Yes, I said it. MP is a SPAC. And we had them on early in 2020. And this stock has held the gains. So I know all you SPAC haters on out there. Well, guess what? MP's been holding on, man. It might be the only one, but it definitely is holding on there. Let's take a look at LAC, another lithium player, getting a ride on up today. So keep this one on your radar. We'll see if the minerals, the industrial metals and minerals can really start coming back. This was looking really weak. Now today, having a good day. So keep your eyes on a stock like Vale, right? This stock likes to run and do these bounces off the floor and then keep bouncing. So I'd keep my eye on some of these. You could also take a look at like Rio, BHP. There's a bunch of names here that you guys can keep watch. There's a lot of these that are going to probably continue to move. I know I like the LTHM. Let me take a look at that one. Did bounce off that 20. I've made some good profits on this before. We'll see if it can continue moving. All right, CCIV, baby, Lucid. The Lucid Dreamer is talking to me about that this one hasn't given up the gains either. I'm not going to lie. I'm a little biased here, guys. You even see my trade drawn out here. I'm looking for a short on Lucid. I haven't taken it here, but at 1980s, I'm getting tempted on taking another short on Lucid. It's been the biggest winner of this year. So we'll see what happens with this one. Can he get back through the 2026 is the upside. But we crushed CCIV. Do you guys remember on CCIV, on Lucid? I actually talked about this stock when they were talking about that it was going to buy DirecTV. Still remember that. And then a couple weeks later, I was saying, like, there's no way they're buying DirecTV. There's something else here, guys. It seems like an opportunity. And then it ripped on me. I didn't have it. It went from like 10 to 60, and I got left behind. And, oh, man, I still remember that time. It was sucky because it was right around my birthday. And I was like, dude, could have had a nice winner for the birthday. But that's how it goes, man. That's just how it goes. We'll keep watching to see if the Lucid Dreamers can bring it back. 2026 is so important. If it can get back there, you can start getting back into a trend. But let's go to the Chinese EVs that also had a good day today. A lot of this based on the government officials saying that they would consider extending a tax break for EV buyers. So more and more talk about credits, right? I think this is something to watch in the EV industry. Look for those mentions of tax credits. Do we get more tax credits here in the United States for companies like Toyota, GM, and Tesla? Or do we get mentions of, in here, China talking about maybe increasing or extending the tax break? That's what you want to be watching for EV right now. That's definitely getting the stocks moving. I'll keep that one on my radar. Take a look here. NIO, nice day there. XPEV coming back a little bit. LI getting a nice little push. LI has a nice little setup to kind of continue going through the 40s and continue pushing. If you take a look here, look at LI in the last couple of weeks. This has really taken off here, LI Auto. And this is one of the ones that does have the support of the government. So I always take a look at what the Chinese government supports it. They're actually invested in the company. So this is the one that they're heavily invested in. I'll keep this one on my radar. LI just looks strong right now, guys. We'll see if it can take out that 40-50 and continue the drive on LI Auto. All right, just added FFIE back. Oof, you're a brave soul. You're a brave soul, I'll tell you that much. FFIE has been squeezing here. This is not on news either. One thing I will talk about is that there was a lot of short research that was put out on FFIE that you guys as investors should maybe take a look at and understand before investing in it. Not saying that you shouldn't. It has been ripping. And what I like is the 15-minute patterns, right? Some bull flags, bull flags, bull flags. On the last 3 times it tried to break through the 6. Well, the last 2 times it tried to break through the 6, you got flags. And down here, it was kind of more of that pennant or ascending wedge. And then it broke through. So it's holding patterns. But it also likes to do some washouts. So just be careful on that one. That's FFIE. I'll tell you right now, guys, I want to drive the vehicle. So for it to continue going up, hey, maybe that's a good thing. I'll tell you one thing. I want to sit in the back seat. I'm going to play some video games there. I don't know if you've ever seen this vehicle. If you haven't, go take a look at the Faraday Future vehicles and what is special about them. All right, let's keep going. Let's take a look what else is going on out there. If you guys got a stock you guys want to take a look at, keep them up in the chat. I'm going to keep rolling through some other stocks, but you guys can definitely lead the way also. All right, let's go towards SPCE, Virgin Galactic. Getting the lift here after a deal with Boeing. Yes, I said it, guys. They announced a partnership with Boeing subsidy to build motherships that carry Virgin rocket ships afloat. So this is going to be interesting to kind of keep watch what happens between Virgin Galactic and Boeing. I really think this was kind of an attempt for Boeing to get kind of their space system and their space department in check because, man, I'll tell you right now, Boeing, you've been sucking in that area. We've been waiting for you to kind of take off in the space industry, and it just hasn't come. So maybe with Virgin Galactic and kind of some expertise and partnership going into play there, maybe they can get it together there at Boeing. We'll see what happens. It tried to hold above 141, has tried multiple times to get above this level. If it doesn't hold above that 141, I think we come back and we test 130s. We break 130s. Be careful. This could be at 100 really soon. All right, I'll see what happened. I did EFFM today. I bought it yesterday. That wasn't a bad look. We'll take a look there. Iron Condor, swing ideas for tomorrow. Interesting. Mentioned some of those so many beats. Not a bad one to take a look. As a scientist, Bullard's last chart that put the data on 2 separate axis level hertz, talking about fluffing the narrative. Yeah, I know what you see there, William. I would love to see your approach a little bit deeper, but hey, thank you for at least mentioning some comments on that kind of PDF that I put out there, that Bullard put out. Of course, the St. Louis Fed. Let's go ahead. Let's take a look at what else is moving out there. What was moving? I'll tell you one thing, guys. Looks like I was right on Sam. Samuel Adams really getting hit hard here. Boston Beer downgraded to sector perform from outperform at RBC Capital. And what did they state? What I've been calling out here, guys, is the truly hard seltzer has just come out of favor. There's too many of these seltzers out there. It's not the same look anymore. It's not the same fad. There isn't it out there. And I don't know about you guys, but it's craft breweries just down the street. You guys let me know if you don't have craft breweries down the street, because at this point, I would think that would be strange. All right, let's keep going. Let's take a look at some other stocks that were strong. Let's take a look at, I did see F-Cell mentioned today. That got a nice lift here. Take a look at that right off the bottom. Fuel Cell getting a nice lift. And also the pluggy, the plug getting a nice lift there too. About 8% getting a lift there. So keep these on radar. We're seeing a nice little day coming out of these. Electronic components. Look at Ulster today getting off the floor there. Definitely doesn't look too bad. I even saw a stock that you guys would probably take a laugh at. Kodak Sciences, guys. It's Kodak, guys. Kodak is ripping here, guys. It's a squeeze. This is what tells me that, I'm sorry, guys. This is what tells me that this rally isn't going to continue working, because when I see stocks like this getting off the ground, there's just no point. This is definitely a crazy stock. Kodak Sciences taking off there, guys. You guys know this one as Kodak. We'll see if this one can continue moving. Had a crazy day today, a nice 20% day up there. But it wasn't only these. Like, look at all these 20% gainers that are on this in this biotech area. There's so many that were making big moves on up. So that's why we got to continue watching when we see things that were hot. We've talked about biotechs now for, I think, like more than a week. So you could have been catching a lot of these moves that you're seeing in these cheaper names, but really they've been getting the lift. And so when these cheaper names are getting the lift, we definitely need to keep these on our radar. All right, Kathy Woods Beam, unstoppable. Yes, change agent. Let's go to those ARKK names. I've talked about some of these have been really strong. What are the three that I've been talking about? There's Beam, B-E-A-M. There's Fate, F-A-T-E. And then there is also CRISPR. CRISPR is also another one that's been really hot. So let's take a look at these on the daily. You can see CRISPR pushing through the highs there in just about a couple days here. This is up about 27%. Beam up about another 30% there in the last couple of days here. Coin up big there. But definitely, even where's Fate here? Taking a look at that Fate move, that's been a big move there too, about 25%. So definitely ARKK getting off the bottom there. And a lot of it is what? Look at this. All green here, all the stocks there. And so from this point, you can keep watching these to see if they continue to hold, right? So Coin, TDOC, you're going to move back on up. Look at Unity holding that pullback also. This one looking really great here. I'll keep this one on my radar. DNA, SSY, PD, PagerDuty, Path here, Shopify getting a little bit of a push, Twist. Some of these names you might not have heard of. There's some smaller names in here too. Twillo getting a little bit of a lift there. Not a bad one to kind of watch. Tesla, of course, Roku. One that is looking interesting too. I was watching this hood move earlier today. Roblox continuing to lift there. Zoom is the one that actually is. I'm actually starting to get interested in here. What do you guys see on this chart? I'm actually delete everything because I think this is a little bit confusing with all the lines here. So let's go ahead and delete it here. Let's bring this as big as possible. I want you guys to tell me what pattern is showing up between here. What pattern is that? Let me know in the chat, guys, if you guys know this pattern. This is Zoom video communications. I want to know the pattern. Who gets it right first? Let's see who gets it in the chat. I'll definitely kind of keep watching these. One of the things that I've been watching also is how has this stock performed, right? And where did it come? It came from above 500. It's down there towards 100, but has filled in the gap completely. I think that's very important. When you fill in the whole gap, now you can start a new trend versus the old trend. I wouldn't really compare it to the old trend because if it does 100% retracement, still not in trend. So we're going to see if this can start a new trend here, break out above maybe 130s and see that continue. There you guys see it in the chat. I'll give it to Bernice and Pete and Duncan Dave. You guys got it right. I love the idea there. And yes, head and shoulders, but inverse head and shoulders is what it's called. Pete, don't worry. Reverse head and shoulders. It's okay not to get the exact word. It's still the same thing, right? So there you guys see it. And it is. You can see here the shoulder here, left shoulder, right? And then you also start seeing what the important thing here is always what they call the neckline. The neckline represents where you want to see this kind of break on out, right? And so some people will draw it up here. I would draw it on a straight line here because I want to give ourselves a little bit more of a filter, right? What I mean by a filter is not getting these fake breakouts like you had yesterday where you went towards that 123 and then the next day you go back to 116. That's tough to deal with, right? So we're looking for close up there towards that 125. Up there through that, maybe getting through 126.50. So if it gets to 127, really going to start getting more bullish on this chart. And that's Zoom video communications here. All right. What's going on, guys? Bro, you're being negative. How am I being negative? I'm looking for the positive there. What's up, Rocky? All right. Yo, Money, thanks for being at the close. Of course, guys, look at that. Look, I'm actually over my time here. I hope you guys enjoyed your time here. I mean, I'm going to keep battling like always, guys. Up next, you guys got Cannabis Hour. I'm going to wrap on up. I went a little bit extra, but I wanted to take a look at that Zoom. We'll see what happens tomorrow. Keep your eyes on the SPY. How did we close there? Looks like we pulled back a little bit right at the end here. Yeah, right at the end, we pulled back a little bit, but I still think we have a little bit of room to run. Is this the bottom? I wouldn't start going all in on that. We'll definitely continue to watch. But like always, it's always Cannabis Hour here, like Lord Ryan says. Definitely Lord Brian says. I said Lord Ryan. You can see I say that too often. Thumbs on up, guys. I'll see you guys later. Go ahead and check out Cannabis Hour. Let me know what happened with Tilray today. I did see that popping a little bit the last couple of days. So we'll find out what's going on in the cannabis industry, of course, with Cannabis Insider. Coming up next, hit the like before you get on out of here. I'll see you tomorrow on Pre-Market Prep.